Hello everybody, today I have the pleasure to propose to you this special edition which is out of the series of 20 keys, master keys that we saw previously. Well, why? Because we just reached our objective, as it was the fact to finish the 21st keys, and now we are in a kind of transition. That's why I entitled this video Transition, for three reasons regarding this kind of series of videos regarding master key, the inner awakening, and also transition, more largely speaking, for regarding the situation that we are living today, nowadays, personally, from your side, and also globally speaking, let's say the globalization, the entire world, and so on, the society in general, and so on, because we know that this situation is just a step and it will be not last forever, hopefully. So this is important for me to precise how we're gonna continue and how we're gonna proceed for next series of video, because we finished the first part, the first chapter in quotation mark, theories, okay, this were essentially theory. And now we're gonna handle a new series of 20 videos which are pure practice. As we say in English, practice makes perfect, right? So this is really important. So just as a feedback, as a short feedback regarding what we saw before, this is really important because we're gonna do a break now, okay? So almost for 1 week. And we will change the frequency. It will be less regularly. It won't be as intensive as before. It will be weekly. Okay. So, but before that, and I explain you why already at the beginning of the launch of this, the introduction of this series of 20 videos. Concretely, the master key was, let's say, it was. Let's say, starting from a book I wrote, okay, the masterpiece that I invite you, by the way, to download on my my website. You have the link on the different headings. So it is in English. Maybe there is some spelling mistake sometimes, but I think that you could handle. It has been edited. So just for you to visualize the framework, the structure of what I try to transmit you. Concretely, this is 20 keys, 20 words, keywords, for which I develop step by step using the funnel method. The funnel method, okay, what is it? We start from one single piece and we enlarge the perspective. And then from the largest perspective, we focus on a single piece. So we start with 20 different keywords corresponding to the 20 different videos we saw. And after, I develop with one sentence and then one paragraph and one page. One page, roughly 1,000 words, okay, which is corresponding to the restitution I did with the video, 20, 30 minutes. So this is important also to read, because this is different orchestration sometimes, because I don't quote by heart. There is definitely, I have few notes in case, but let's say sometimes I do improvisation, sometimes I change something and so on. Sometimes I don't necessarily precise, or I have a new examples and so on. So this is also important because it's another medium of communication and a new means of learning. This is also important that you read this book. Okay, this is important. Also, you can try to a maximum to watch the different videos, as I recommend you to take some notes and also to reformulate, and try also to do the test now, as we covered all of them. If you don't have notes, to try to say to someone, okay, so if I was asking you, because imagine the book is only 88 pages, is almost nothing. 88, by the way, is the symbol of infinity, not without any symbolism, but because it's eternal path, as you saw and as we saw together. So, but this is important. Would you be able to transmit to someone who was not participating, not watching the videos? This is a question mark. And also, would you have, let's say, organize the same structure, maybe you would have start with something different than duality and so on, because there is a certain order, even if you can just focus on one key and squeeze another and so on. They are, in a certain extent, independent. So, but I recommend you highly to watch several times, to take notes, and for you to soak, to infuse, because there are quite a lot of information. And if you are a beginner, it can be a bit undigested. So, and if you have even a certain knowledge, this is always good for a fresh reminder and also for structuring your mind. So I invite you to do that. And actually, you can also develop, because on my website, I have more than a dozen of books. Not all of them are translated in English, but at least you have this one, Master Key. You have also syntheses of Saint Theses, who are exclusively 99 quotes with illustration, and they are quite deep. And they are like koans, which means in Zen, in Japanese philosophy, it's supposed to talk to your soul, and they are quite deep. I invite you just to check if you like it. There is also the big picture, the book. There is no words except the preface, and this is only symbols with a certain framework and also a common thread, and evoking some existential, spiritual questions like the quadrature of the cycle, space-time, the sense, the meaning of life, and so on, this type of thing. And this is important and interesting that you try by your own to do it. So there is also Sage Passage, which will be published officially mid of May, which is concretely, it depicts the new era, the fifth dimension, quite precisely, the institution, the way of living, the way of behaving, and so on. And frankly speaking, it will be for you like a new way of breathing. It's like a new oxygen. And nowadays, with this situation, which is quite scaring, it will be not a plus. It will be quite existential for you. I will invite you. And actually, this is important because to take time to infuse and to digest this. Because, you know, basically, personally, the number of views, I don't care. We should have another way of counting, understood and implemented. Okay? Why? Because views doesn't mean anything. If someone watch 10 seconds, is a view, is one view. And this is quantitative. What I'm looking for is qualitative perception. It's the fact that people really understood first and apply and implement what vibrates within themselves according to their own rhythm. Because some elements can vibrate maybe 1, 2, 3, 10 years, and sometimes never. You can reject some part. It's not a big deal. It's a buffet. A buffet, you're not obliged to eat everything, of course. You eat according to your will, according to your need, according to what you like, and what vibrates according to your metabolism. So this is, for me, extremely important that you know yourself, know thyself, and you will know the secret of the gods and the universe. This is really important. So we saw the first part, okay, theory. And this is based on what I told you, my way of teaching for any types in holistic dimension or even for business, in management and so on. TIP, T-I-P, as an advice. T, theory, P, practice, I, intuition, I of consciousness, I or higher self. Okay, so we learn from the books, for example, the recipe of cuisine and nutritional intakes. Okay, this is theory, that's perfect. And then practice makes perfect. You learn by doing by your own. Too burn, not enough cooked, and so on. And you adjust. And after a certain experience, you will know, and you will be capable to do good food. And step by step, you will develop your own intuition. That's to say, you will do by your own. You will make some things. You will maybe take some other videos, some other people, some other source of influences, and so on. Okay? Because this is important that you know the way. That's why I propose many types of teaching with fun, with talking like this, like conference, like videos, like audiobooks, like just basic books and so on, you know? So this is important because we are all different and we all have a capacity of learning which is different, but this is important. And another type of book I'm also we will be published soon is Recreation, which is a book. This is already available as a course online, which is more than 10 hours. Concretely, what is it? It is to stimulate, to develop your creativity and to stimulate your intuition. Why? Because in 2030, so in less than 10 years, 70% of the jobs don't exist so far. And as Einstein said, you cannot solve the problems with the same state of mind which created them. So this is important. We need, and that's why we are in a transition now, today, is this. We are invited to be creative. The creativity for me, and that's why I'm teaching here in Bali and in different, for the orphanage, but also for different types of business schools, fashion schools and so on, not purely design, marketing and so on, but in general, because it's really the principle of Confucius, let's say the Chinese philosophy and wisdom said, instead of giving a fish to someone who is starving, teach him how to fish. And this is really important. Creativity is the best treasure you can give to someone, because even if tomorrow there is a disaster, even if tomorrow there is no job, no food, and so on, those who could survive, who would be that people? Those who are resourceful, who have creativity to find some new ideas of the problems and so on. This is also this creativity. So this is important. Well, so we will see a new series of videos starting on the 8th of May. This is very important date for me. This is the end of the war, Second World War in Europe, and also this is beginning of peaceful moment, and we can consider now it starts to be challenging, and this is also a kind of new birthday for me, because this is the end of a kind of addiction from the past, and so it's symbolic for me. But so we will start by the 8th of May, concretely a series of 20 videos regarding practice, but it will be weekly. Why? Because you need more time to practice every day, like a routine, of course, if you like it. But we will see, for instance, the first one will be meditation, the second one will be mindfulness, the third one will be breathing, the fourth one will be nutrition, then exercise, sport, and so on, ecstatic dance, all this kind of thing, like even type of personal developments, okay, how to handle projects and so on, for helping people to go out of this darkness sometimes. Because if we are watching the news all the time, permanently, okay, like in a loop, is normal, then we are down and we are reducing the vibration. And we are energy and vibration, as we saw. So this is extremely important. That's why I will propose kind of extra in few days. The 1st of May, I will propose a long video I did last year to help people with 30 keys, 30 advices for helping people to rise the vibration, the energy. Concretely, some tools, 30 tools to be happy and to be in harmony. And I think it's extremely important at this period of time, because a lot of people are tired, they are doubting, they are scared, and so on. And a lot of new types of diseases due to fear, due to anxiety, and so on, are developing amongst a lot of people, young and older, and so on. That's why This is this proper time to wake up and to be solidary and not to let's say to slug. It's we fall down. Okay, we can wake up and we can take this impulse to do something better, greater, and so on. So this is the reason why I propose starting the 20 keys will be on the 8th of May, and the first special edition of 2 hours will be 30 tools to be happy. And this is like a, a grammar book, or a dictionary. You don't necessarily read everything. You will not watch all the keys, all the tools straight away. You will watch a few minutes. You will take 2 or 3 ones, and you will try to experience them, to reject some of them if it doesn't work, or if you don't like, if you don't feel them, and so on. But at least if you put in practice and it becomes your discipline and your routine, 10 of them only, your life will change radically, I swear to you. And because it has been the fruit of experience and it worked for many people. So this is important, this. And after we'll start with, I told you, meditation and so on. But meditation, it will be short. I have a course online. It's 5.5 or 6 hours. So I explain the ins, the outs, the history of meditation, the different currents, the different schools, and so on. It's more detailed. For this video, it will be straight to the point. I will not talk about the origins of Zazen, of Buddhism, and so on. No, I will go straight to the point. I will give you different tips, different types of meditation, and then, let's say, the difficulties to avoid, and that's it. And then you do, you don't do, then you will adjust, because I will propose more than only one. You will have several ones like this. You could, and also because I'm practicing meditation for 20 years, and at the beginning it was difficult. So the goal is to share with you the difficulties, also to avoid you this type of hard time. Okay, so it will be really down to earth. Why? Because this is something very important in general. That's why I like the notion of practical dimension for English speaker. Practice makes perfect means everything, okay? Theory is great, as we said, but without practice is useless. When we say a practicant, okay, a religious practicant, what does it mean normally? You respect the dogmas, you respect the prayers, you go to church, to temple, to mosque, to synagogue, whatever. That's perfect. Congratulations, you have the medal and so on. Yeah, I respect that. But for me, according to my perception, my understanding of the living, a real practitioner would be someone who practices his faith and is the love towards everything, every type of link to the living. That's to say, nature, animals, people in general, regardless their origin, regardless their own religions and so on. So this is for me important. This is even existential. I suffered when I was young through the education I had, part from school, religious education, because for me it was not enough practical. For me it was beautiful stories, morality, and so on. It was great. But I was missing something like, you learn in a university and you are like this. And sometimes in certain, according to what you study, but if you study chemistry, most of the time you have something in a laboratory and it's really practice. And you learn definitely more with practice, according to my experience as well. So this is for me extremely important to put in practice, because the real goal is that you rise your vibration. Why? Because it's a kind of shield toward any types of disease, because the fact to have high vibration, to be positive, to have a good mindset and so on, is linked to epigenetics, as Bruce Lipton explained quite well. Everything you think impacts your DNA, and the DNA refers to your health. So this is extremely important. It means that you're more fragile and weak if you're depressed and so on. And your immune system is also weaker if you have bad mindsets and if you are doubting and so on. That's why this is a proper time to be solidary and to handle things, to wake up collectively. And we need also to mutual help, to help each other, to help with your community, your friends, your family. Some of them, they will reject. Some people, they would think it's stupid, it's bullshit, it's blah, blah, and so on. Let them. This is their own rhythm. This is important you do for yourself, because the goal I try to transmit is to be reconnected to the living in general. So the entirety of life, nature, people, things, and so on, and to be respectful and to appreciate life and to inject, in a certain extent, colors in sometimes a little bit black and white life. This is really important, that. And that's why this is all reason for being, or all this new series of videos coming soon by next week. And I really hope that it will vibrate and also that you will feel the effects. Because once again, this is linked to the butterfly effect. The more you awaken and the more people are doing and so on, there is a mutual effect. We are mirroring, inspiring us mutually. This is really important, this. And actually, another point, I talk about transition, so transition of this kind of videos, course or program, and a transition, personal transition. This is the proper time. This is an invitation, subtle invitation to change. This is the Maya, this is the apocalypse. What we're living now is just punctual. It will not last forever. The situation, we are blocked, locked down, and so on, a restriction, and so on. It will not last 10 years, 20 years. It will, I don't know, how, I don't have a crystal ball, but I cannot predict, but maybe a few months, maximum 1 year. So what is important is we have time to think about what we want. Okay, as Seneca said, there is no favorable wind for those who don't know where they are going. So this is important to define what you want individually. Your life is a good, proper time maybe to handle things for having trainings and change your life, your job, your whatever. Okay, this is important, this, because the more you will be in harmony, the more you will attract this, and the more the words through the clouds and the morphic fields will be affected, and you will be, by return, more affected with the positive mindset of the collective unthinking and collective unconsciousness. This is important. There is a ripple effect, definitely. So, by the way, you know, when I say that, we are in a certain weird period for everybody. You know, I'm a businessman, I have a different business. I have a business in China. We're recovering minus 20%. This is scary. I see a lot of my partners, they're going to bankruptcy. It's like, you know, you have turbulence. Here, our Holistic Wellbeing Center 2020, zero. We did zero. Everything is blocked here. We are affected, definitely. And I can understand that some people are struggling and they are really pissed off, they cannot afford and so on. This is a matter of fact. But the positive side is that first, Mother Earth is happy because we are invited to question our existence, our way of behaving, our way of consuming and so on. This is important, that, and to define what we want concretely. In the book, which will be published mid-May, Sage Passage is depicting this, the constitution, the civilization of the future, a kind of utopia. And the name is Sage, Sage Passage, Utopia. Okay, in English, Utopia, Y-O-U, the utopia within you. What does it mean? It means it's kind of in a word, but it is supposed to make you dream in a positive way and to make your dream come true. You make your dream come true. As the little prince say, turn your life into a dream and this dream into reality. We are what we think, and what we think vibrate and co-create the world. So that's why it's so important with that. And this is like a gestation. We are in the womb of our Mother Earth, and this is not forever. And this is a kind of turbulence period. You know, I'm going to quote Sham Ed Tabrizi, who is a great Sufi who highlight the light of Rumi. He said the following: the midwife knows that when there is no pain, the way for the baby cannot be opened, and the mother cannot give birth. Likewise, for a new self to be born, hardship is necessary. Just as clay needs to go through intense heat to become strong, love and life can only be perfectioned in pain. Okay? No pain, no gain. So it means it creates resilience and it reinforces us. Even the immune system will be boosted and so on. Our society were fragile, weak, and this is up to us to strengthen a new vision, a new paradigm according to our vibration, according to our consciousness, collective consciousness, our collective heart as well. And this is really important. What we live here is like, you know, the caterpillar. The caterpillar, half of its life is just slugging and eating like bulimic way. A little bit like our modern Western society, right? Sometimes without any sense, okay? No meaning of life sometimes, some people. And they feel dull and they feel empty, as we said. And so then the caterpillar just start to launch the process, which is quite short regarding his lifespan, but it becomes like a chrysalis, you know, the kind of cocoon, which is not comfortable situation for us now, but let's say more like a chrysalis, and then it will give birth to a butterfly, and the butterfly ascends, go up, rise, and rise the vibration, has more perspective, has more horizon. This is the metaphor of what we are living individually, collectively. But for this, it's up to us to co-create according to our vibration. That's why this practice part is extremely important. If we are always focusing on the news, on the conspiracy, and they are bad, and fuck, we are losing the game. We are losing the game, and we are not in a process of awakening. So this is extremely important to keep this in mind. Okay, so I invite you to open up your heart, open up your consciousness, to share with people this type of new vision, because the more you will radiate that, the more you will attract people like this, and people will feel motivated in beautiful projects, organize new things, can be at local scale, just an association of people, they want to think differently, you know, and they want to establish, I don't know, permaculture in your garden, or, you know, it can be anything, like solidarity. And this is extremely important to find back our humanity. This is really important. Well, I hope that for this first series, you already shape your master key, even if it's eternal process. And you keep in mind that always all the roads lead to Rome and to all. Thank you for your attention, and see you very soon.